everyone, it's me, Empress Arcana, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Hi guys, I do apologize that I'm kind of feeling not the best right now. I've been feeling very sick to my stomach, I can't speak. I don't know if I can say words right now. I've been very disoriented. A lot of things I've been under a lot of stress, and I'm still here at the place I'm staying at, and I'm realizing a lot of things coming up from childhood and stuff that I've wanted to ignore because I'm like, no, this is not the story I want. But I also feel that I have to recognize the things that are coming up so that they won't come up again or officially stop coming up, because it has been it's been hard. So first and foremost, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I had recorded something yesterday, but since I was feeling so bad, it was very short too. I was like, you know what? Let me just try tomorrow. And yes, today is my birthday. Thank you guys for all the wishes, the happy birthday wishes. It means a lot to me. And I feel a little weird because it's like, when it comes to, like, I don't feel that I'm very fortunate to have, I just don't feel very much family. I feel that I've been recognizing patterns coming to play, that it's just gotten worse over time. And being here, I'm realizing it all like come full force, and it's a bit it's quite uncomfortable. So this is going to be one of those where I'm going to talk about certain things that involve family dynamics, and there might be topics about narcissism in here. So if that's not your cup of tea, you can click away. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable with these topics. I was actually like, should I even talk about it? I don't want to be negative, but it has been bothering me, and maybe there is something in here that can help someone else realize something. That's always what I've said, but lately it's been so hard for me to do that because I feel so bad. I don't want to be affirming a story I don't want, but at the same time, like I said in the beginning, there are things that I want to talk about and let it get out of my system again or whatever, but these are observations I've made, whatever. And I had watched a couple of days ago an Aaron Dottie video. I can't speak. An Aaron Dottie video about empaths and narcissists. He does a lot of those, but I don't usually. It's triggering. Not gonna lie to you guys. I grew up with a narcissist. I grew up with lots of narcissists in my life, and even till this point, I ask myself, well, am I in the wrong, or this and that? And it's like, there's so many questions, or I start to blame myself, and that's what I've been doing, because ever since I got here, I'm like, oh my gosh, and this and that, and it's like, it's just so much going on in everyone's personal lives that it's just complicated. But there are times, especially when it comes to family, that I'm just tired, because I've always put myself last. It might not seem like that to others, especially not to narcissists, but I've realized this pattern. It would happen with my father. My father was a narcissist, big time. And that's why I find it interesting that my cousin and him and her just never got along, and I know why. They saw each other. They saw their narcissistic tendencies, and they knew that they couldn't manipulate one another. I don't know. It's just a lot of things that I've been thinking about, and it's just been toxic, and I feel kind of like, can I get out of this? Because right now I have no, so I saw something else that caught my attention last night. It was a video of someone talking about how our body gives us signs. And our body gives us signs of when you are somewhere or with like anything in life that doesn't resonate with your code of ethics, your moral code, or doesn't resonate with you as a whole, as a being, as an existence. Your body will give you signs that it doesn't feel good to be there, and it just kind of like, the woman said, like, it makes you sick. It makes you sick to be somewhere where your spirit, your energetic frequencies and all that is just not in alignment with the people around you. And I'm coming to terms that is something that I've had since childhood, and I didn't know, because I would just shrug it off. I didn't know about energy when I was a child. I didn't know that everyone has a different frequency. Everyone vibrates differently. I didn't know that there is just so many factors to the people around you. Yes, there are many theories. There are many things that I'm still like undergoing, like all these thought processes and trying to understand everything. But I haven't really had a chance to dive deeper. If like the way I do things, if something pops up on my feed, my For You page or something, it catches my attention. I see it as a little sign from the universe. Okay, this is a little nugget of information I was meant to learn. Okay, how am I going to react to it? How am I going to take it? And again, it's all about reaction. And I'm doing my very best in that department, because right now this is my situation, and I am working on just, living and doing what I can in the moment, because there are very little things I can do right now. I just got to be in the moment. And it has been very frustrating, because it's all those things that it's like all the triggers coming up, but it's having more knowledge about them, because I know now about my spiritual teachings, my beliefs, and everything that coincide with these past experiences that make up who I am right now and the reason why I went through certain things. And yes, I don't want to focus on the past, but like I said earlier, these are things coming up, and I rather just talk about it, hopefully reach some point of understanding for myself, and maybe someone else can reach a point of understanding for themselves. I don't know. I always want to be, I almost said in teacher mode. No, not always. I want to have some fun. But it's been frustrating, and I'm just like, I recognize that my environment is very, very heavy, and it's even heavier than in the past, because everyone's going through so much. And I recognize that. I don't want to be here cold-hearted and say, oh, this, that. I understand. And I might not even know a lot of the things that are happening, and that's okay. That's not my place. But I am recognizing the patterns, and I am recognizing them for myself, how I can progress as a human being for myself. And I'm realizing that in these kinds of environments, I don't feel I can progress. And I've always felt that, especially with my father. My father didn't live with us. I've spoken about this before. He had a family before he had me with my mother. And it was, it was what it was, because he's not around anymore either. So, do I love him? Yes. Do I love my family? Yes. Do I recognize the toxic patterns? Yes. And all I can say is that I'm going to do my very best to handle how things are happening in my life so that I can move forward, because I have a vision. I have plenty of visions, And ever since I was a child, these visions were ignored or I was made fun of. And that's another thing. If it's not being ignored or bullied in these last couple of weeks, that was my dog. She agrees with me. I'm tired of being bullied. And some things were said that I'm just like, wow, what? It's this situation, right? I wasn't going to even, I told myself, no, don't talk about it. No, I'm talking about it. I've opened up the can of worms. Sorry. It's like, if they see me with a smile, they will pick at that smile and they will pick at the things that will make me not smile. Nana. I've noticed that pattern. And I'm like, but why? So if I'm feeling down and they're smiling, it's okay. It's like, oh, why are you being all doom and gloom or not smiling? It's an oxymoron. I don't get it. It's like, what? It's that bullying, and it sometimes makes me feel, and I swear I'm not trying to, makes me feel like, it just makes me feel very isolated. And it has been because, wow, I guess I'm talking about my childhood. Look at that. Happy birthday to me. Talk about your childhood. Oh, God. Now this is my truth, and this is what I feel right now, and I want to talk about it. So I've been holding back because it's like, I don't think it's ever the right time. But no, right now, in the moment, is the right time. So because I've spoken about this in pieces before, because it's very hard. So, oh my goodness. Sorry for all the background doggy sounds. It's Nanako. She always has to contribute to the conversation. I love her so much. She's my little partner in crime. Well, I hope not actual crime. I mean, I'm sure she's down for it. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Sorry. So, yeah. It was me and my mom growing up. We struggled for my mom to get anything from my dad was a mission. He had his family, and everyone in that family hated my mother, obviously. Not obvious. It's so soap opera. I hate it. And for the longest time, and I knew something was up when my dad would speak to me, especially as I continued to get older, I would notice something wrong in the pattern of speech. It was manipulation and gaslighting. And I didn't know any better. He would do the same thing with my mom. Are there moments where we all do some sort of manipulation? I'm sure, right? Some of it purposely, some of it not. Some of it unconscious, from, we just don't realize, but there are ways of using words with certain intentions, and then one can either tell or not. And I know that we're not perfect. We all have our moments. But I do realize that with my father, it took a toll on me. And I didn't realize a lot of things that I've spoken about this briefly. I was always told by a lot of the members in this family too. I always had my head up in the clouds. I always was in la la land, dreamland, not paying attention to reality. Since I was it's so funny, it's so ironic how I have many different viewpoints on this right now, but that's not the particular viewpoint I want to discuss. But So, because I know that because of that reasoning, it's very hard for me to, or harder to have fun and be accepting of the fun, because there's that little programming old story in my head like, no, I'm not supposed to have fun because family always told me responsibilities, right? And I've been very it's been a hard time with family. And astrologically, makes sense because I have a Saturn ruled house as my home. It's my Capricorn house is my 4th house, and I have my Mars retrograde there. I heard someone speak about how having a Mars anywhere, wherever you have your Mars, that is where people can really get to you, because it's aggression. And if it's not, the energy is not honed properly, it can become very imbalanced and you can become victimized and such. So, yeah. Right. Going back to things. Sorry guys, I'm here trying to collect the pieces of what I was going to talk about, but Jesus Christ, my girl has not stopped. She's like and maybe one day I'll be able to unlock all these things so I can make more sense of them, because as I'm trying to unlock memories from my childhood, it's actually it's pretty painful. I don't want to, but little things. And that's why I feel my cousin in particular, the mother of the other my other cousins, I feel that with her, ever since I was a kid, there's just some animosity, whether it was intentional or not. And I don't doubt that she loves me. I don't. But I don't know. It's really hard. Little memories. Like I remember when I was a kid, I was washing dishes because my aunt had told me to wash dishes. And I had my Walkman, and I was listening to a song. And my cousin said, "No, you can't listen to the music while you're washing dishes. No one said you could." Like, no one said I couldn't. Stupid shit like that. It's like so petty. And I've noticed that in my life. And little things that is so like minute. It's not even, but I remember this because I remember her blaming me that her kid started like rock because of me. And that was a problem. and like stupid shit like that. And I realized that it made no sense. And it was always, and here right now, I feel that tension. I feel that I try to always keep the peace because I just want peace. I have enough going on in my own head. And then with my current living situation, it kind of really sucks. And all I can say is I'm trying. Gotta keep going. But I have had a lot of situations. So let me see if I can gather my mind again because I'm kind of drifting off. I'm so sorry, guys. So I realize that sometimes, even though it feels very lonely right now, it's sometimes no contact, even though you live in the same house, is better. Because it's like, I don't feel part of the family. no matter what I do. That's another thing I've noticed that was mentioned also in Aaron's video about narcissists, that no matter what you do, I don't remember all the specifics he mentioned. It was a couple of days ago and my brain has been, but where in my situation, no matter how much I do, it goes back into the people pleasing. It goes back to wanting to feel safe, but I don't feel safe here. Again, I love my family, but I recognize patterns, and it is something that has been... I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying so hard to get these words out. It's been, in its own way, very... ever since childhood, too, but it's been very... I realize that most of my life I've been trying to appease to narcissists without realizing, mostly in my family. Wild, huh? Whenever I speak about certain experiences, it's mostly about family. I've always wanted to feel safe in my home environment. I want to feel safe. If there's anything I can get for my birthday, I just want to feel safe in my mind, in my heart, in my body. I didn't know how much of a problem it was that I didn't feel safe. And I haven't been able to for a long time. And that's okay. I'm learning to feel safe within myself. It's a process. Just like whenever we get triggered, there's a reason why we get triggered, right? I've said this and I continue to remind myself that if there's a trigger, that means there's something within us that needs healing or needs attention. I'm just trying to be responsible with how I speak, with how I, with how I introduce these topics, because they can be very triggering. That's why I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to bring this up. But that's why I put my little disclaimer in the beginning. But for those that are still here, thank you so much for listening. I find a lot of comfort doing this, because I don't know, it just feels comforting. And it's very interesting because astrologically speaking, my MC, which is my midheaven, is in Cancer. That is your public image. And I find it so funny. And I have my Venus in my 11th house as well, which can mean like social media and stuff. I find it very interesting that I've always been drawn to the internet, or been drawn to express myself on the internet in some way, shape, or form. Right? I find that very interesting. And I've found my family through the internet. Again, I'm very grateful for everything I have right now. But I feel safer with the people that I've met. I mean, I know that there's layers to that. And of course, like I mentioned, childhood stuff, that's always, that's not fun, like childhood traumas and stuff. But I guess I feel very fortunate that I have the capability to record this, even if it's just like with my little mic or sitting on the bed that I'm currently staying in for now. All these things I'm very grateful for, because I have the opportunity to still record something, to express myself, and that is a very beautiful thing. And it helps. It helps. So, but yeah, the biggest lesson that I think, one of the biggest lessons, especially with family, I can't be a people pleaser. I can't be a family pleaser, because most of the time, especially certain people, they're just never going to be happy no matter what you do. And that's not a me problem. If it it triggers me that I gotta look within myself, yes. But if it's something on the outside, I shouldn't make it be part of my inside. Does that make, I know it sounds weird. I hope that's insightful. I hope that made sense. I'm realizing again and again how family is so important to me. But family has hurt me a lot. But that's okay. It's all been a lesson. And that doesn't mean they don't love me. We all go through things. We're all going through so much, right? I don't want to be insensitive, but I do want to keep my boundaries. I realize that I lose my head when it comes to my cousin. I want to please her in every way. I want her to be happy, but she's never happy. It's like I can never make her happy. And I know that that's something I need to look within myself. I know it. Oh, I know it. It's like, it reeks of it. And I know that my parents, they're not around anymore. And they never really instilled certain lessons of life. And that's okay. I've had to learn in a more difficult way. But I'm learning. I'm learning. And I'm growing. How much is that doggy in the window? No, I'm like, oh wow, it's already like almost 30 minutes. Okay. Sorry, I'm like, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see. But yeah, I'm trying. I'm working on it. There's a lot of other things that hopefully in the days to come I'll feel more comfortable talking about. But for now, this is just something that's been lingering in my head. And I just want to stay balanced, continue to do my best to be 50-50 here with interactions with family and keeping to myself. Right now, it's a little bit difficult because I only have the room that I'm staying in to kind of keep to myself, and not really because you can hear everything. But it's this realization. I'm sure many of you guys feel that it is important to feel safe and secure in your own environment. And a lot of us growing up did not have that, especially with the generation of Scorpio, Pluto Scorpios. We are the generation, we're the healers, we are the transformation of that generation. A lot of people make fun of, a lot of people make fun of millennials. Bruh, millennials have had it fucking hard because it might not seem like it to older generations, or there's always those jokes, but going by astrology, the millennials are, or at least the older, and then it goes into Pluto and Sagittarius, but Pluto and Scorpio is not an easy time. And it is constantly transforming our sense of power because, as I've heard and I've been saying, because this other astrologer said it kind of stuck, Pluto is the planet of power, the power dynamics, right? I'm so sorry. I guess I have to blow my nose. I'm so sorry. No. I was talking about Pluto. Not gonna cry. Oh God. Why did I just hear "It's my party and I'll cry if I want to"? No. But yes, Pluto is power dynamics, and Scorpio is the sign of change, transformation, death and rebirth, also seen as the healer. But the healing the way that the way that Scorpio heals is it comes with a sting first. Okay. So transformation, healing through Scorpio is a rough time, but very rewarding by the end of it. Okay. I personally have a Pluto and Moon conjunction in Scorpio. So my emotions are constantly going through these things with my Pluto also maneuvering it as well. It's very interesting. But all in all, let's wrap this up. So yeah, anyone going through power dynamics with family, going through certain struggles, it's okay. Remind yourself, you are safe. You are safe, especially within yourself. And if you don't feel that way, sit with yourself, okay? And clear your mind. Do whatever you have to do to just like kind of get yourself back to center. Because I've realized for myself, I do feel much better today in the sense of like my tummy and whatnot, because I've been going, my body has just been purging, and I've been feeling a lot of like discomfort. It was a bad time yesterday, guys. It was a bad time for me. But like from like my anyway, what am I talking about? It's so yes, you sit with yourself. If you meditate, journal, whatever practice that you have, and take that time to be kind to yourself, compassion. If you feel, I say this to myself, if I don't, I'll say it in that, if I don't feel compassion in my surroundings, I gotta be the compassionate one to myself. And I've been learning to love myself, because I know that that is a very hard one for a lot of people, especially when one is a people pleaser, when one is an empath. I remember when I was doing my research on that for the first time of empaths and narcissists, and that's when I realized, whoa, my dad has all these qualities. Oh shit, my dad is a narcissist. And it hit me. This was like a couple of decades ago at this point. And that's when I started really going into my spirituality. I don't find it to be a coincidence. So I feel now, instead of feeling defeated, right? I need to count my victories. I'm still here. Here's to another solar return. Beautiful. I'm here. I'm great. Are there complications? Yes, but I am overcoming them little by little. And I'm not alone. Let me tell you, right here, right now, you listening to me, I know I'm not alone. And I'm so grateful. Thank you. With all my heart. So it is a matter of perspective and how we take that in. And yeah, I feel that I'm actually glad that I recorded this, even though it was like all over the place. But I am trying to voice my feelings the best way I can in my current environment as well. And just love. Love is the most beautiful of vibrations. Some say it's the highest, but there's so many vibrations, But love is a beautiful one. And one can, blame another. But how far is that going to get you, right? That's what I remind myself all the time. And then I cry because I'm like, but damn, does it hurt? I got hurt by this person. Oh my God, But it's like, yes, you can cry or you can release energy in regards to that situation. But there will come a moment where you have to say, hey, that's enough. You are loved. You are love. As long as you have love within yourself, you are loved. I know how that sounds, but I really feel that. And I know that I've been going through a lot of things, but I want to believe that I have love within me, that I'm not alone, and that even though that there are complications, it's going to be short-lived because it's not what I want. And I'm really excited. I was trying to share with family some ideas I had for the future. Of course, everyone's going through their own thing, so there wasn't really much excitement from what I was talking about. I was telling them about how I was trying to finish up some certifications so I can really put more services on my shop to help other people. It kind of sucks when you don't have, it feels like anyway, I felt I don't really have that support, especially from family. It feels like they don't care. They don't care about healing. They don't care about spiritual work. A lot of people are like, oh, how did you learn how to read tarot cards? Myself. How did you learn astrology? Myself. I learned by seeking it out, right? It's not just like, oh, it came to me. Yes, I got a lot of downloads, but what I do, I search for it. I learn, I read, I educate myself in my own time, right? That is what I can do for me. And ever since I was a little girl, I've always done this. And even if I was never like, people wouldn't see it as an accomplishment or something. It's so hard. I can feel my inner child just kind of wanting to cry. I hate this shit. I might have to like give her some attention today. It's my birthday. I got to give my inner child attention. She needs attention. She needs a hug. um, And my mother, even though she didn't understand where I was coming from a lot of the time with my spirituality and my spiritual work, she would always do her best to be supportive, even if it was just with words. That's why I hold her in such high regard. Because even though she was suffering, she was ill, she had so many things going. And, you know, we would clash because people clash from time to time. Come on. She always did her very best, her very, very best to support me and my ideas and my vision. And I feel that's very important, to encourage one another on our visions. And because let me tell you, yes, it has to come from within. We get the vision, we get the spark of inspiration, right? And then we can transform it and make it real. But if our surroundings, and this is going by just like the 3D reality concept. I'm not going into other things because I will never shut up because I'm still learning about a lot. But thinking about what we see with our eyes, our physical reality, if others are not supportive, especially from a childhood standpoint, that's going to become a wound, right? Especially with our creative endeavors and our visions. I want to always be supportive of myself and the people that I love, because you never know where that's going to lead the person. I've always seen people and I see their potential so high. I see all the colors around them. I see what's going to make them smile. I never knew what that was. But I see it. And I don't see it with narcissists, though. They are so in their own pain, in their own story. They're so stuck on trying to get what they can, whether it be from others or I don't know what it is, but narcissists are a different breed. And it's like there's a block. And it hurts because no matter how much I've tried to encourage a person that I guess could have narcissistic tendencies or are already like on the full spectrum of that, in my opinion, I can't get through them. In fact, I only trigger them. And I'm like, fuck. Well, they say that healers trigger others to heal. I believe that we're all healers in some way, shape, or form. Some are more properly equipped for that. Some people are born into that healer role. And I can see that in people too, and I find that so fucking beautiful. I love me a healer. And it's just a very beautiful thing to be compassionate with. And I wish I could remember what it was. That there's a video that got my attention. I'm going to have to look it up another time. Not to get confused, not to get unconditional love confused with something else. Unconditional something else. That'll have to be for another time, because I thought that was a very beautiful way, because I do believe in unconditional love, and the people around me are like, no, unconditional. I don't remember the other word that they use, not to get it confused with something else, because a lot of people that have been hurt do not believe in unconditional love. The true testament to being able to embody love is to believe and also in time embody unconditional love, because unconditional love is the gateway to all possibilities, in my opinion. Putting that out there, my opinion. My feeling, my opinion. And I'm learning that it's very important to recognize this within self, because when there's those moments where we are, when we need it the most, we need that love, we can gather it from within. And it's a very powerful feeling. And it can come even more to life with the love that you know, that you can affirm and you feel from those that love you too. And not to focus on any of that lack, or where you feel that you are not loved. You are always loved. Because let me tell you, if you love yourself, you're always loved. And not only that, with those that are you're very connected to, right? You're going to feel that love, because it's like radiating, and it's a mirror. It's like, I reflect love back to you, you reflect it back to me. And that's the beautiful exchange, the equal give and take. That is the most beautiful energy. And I just love it so much. So yeah. Yeah. Wow. This is, I didn't know that this was going to become this, but I'm pretty happy with it. Even though there were some tough topics. If you reached the end with me, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do my very best to have a good day, however that is for me. I'm already feeling better, like health-wise, because yesterday was, ooh. So that's a beautiful gift on its own. I love you. Thank you for listening. And I want to say so much more, but maybe I'll say it another time. But I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. Thank you so much for everything. This journey has been, but here we are. And I'm so fucking grateful. Sending so much love your way. On to the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.